Hi everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. I've got some really exciting fabrics to share with you in today's video as we have launched a brand new base cloth in the Minerva Exclusive fabric collection. So the fabric we've launched is a Viscose Twill fabric. So this is a fabric base cloth I've wanted to launch in the range for a long time because it is super versatile. With it being made from 100% viscose, it's beautifully soft and drapey and breathable, but with the twill weave it gives it a little bit of body and weight. So it's super versatile for making lots and lots of different types of garments. So I've got a bunch of pattern suggestions to be able to share with you as well, to give you lots of ideas and specific pattern ideas, you know, the sorts of things that you can make. And I've got 10 of our different prints from the collection to share with you today, but we do have more on our website as well. So let's jump in and take a look at the fabric. So this is an Ecovero viscose fabric. So it's a lensing Ecovero viscose fibre. And basically what that means is it's 100% viscose, but lensing Ecovero viscose is derived from renewable wood sources, and it uses an eco-responsible production process. So the production of Ecovero viscose fibres uses at least 50% less water, and it emits at least 50% less CO2 compared to more generic viscose fibres. So it helps to save, you know, precious resources for future generations. And with it being a cellulose fibre, they are biodegradable, and they naturally will, you know, return to nature you know, sort of by default themselves. So Ecovero viscose is considered a more sustainable fibre. And if you've sewn with viscose before, you'll know what an incredibly soft and beautiful to handle fabric it is. It's, you know, it has that wonderful drape, softness and fluidity, like you can see there when I'm holding this fabric. Yeah, it just feels beautiful. So this fabric, you know, we do have lots of other viscose fabrics in our range, but this is a viscose twill fabric. And what makes this different is the twill weave, which when you look up close to the fabric, you can see a diagonal twill weave. And what that kind of weave does to a fabric is it gives it a little bit more body, and it's a little bit heavier in weight. So this fabric actually falls into our medium weight category here at Minerva, and any of the prints, even the ones that have lighter coloured background, because of that weave and that extra weight, they're not see-through. So you can make so many things with this fabric. I think that's the key thing that makes this fabric so versatile. So in terms of the sorts of things you can make tops and blouses with it, you can make skirts and dresses, you can make trousers, shorts, jumpsuits, and I would even go as far as to say you could make lighter weight soft jackets as well. Obviously it's not going to make a very formal kind of structured jacket, but a soft you know, unstructured style jacket it will be fabulous for. So yeah, there are so many styles of garment you can make. It still suits a pattern that has some softness and some drape, you know, to make the most of that characteristic in the fabric. But yeah, that extra bit of weight and body really does lend itself to so many different styles. And I think as well, with viscose twill, it is the sort of fabric you can wear all year round. However, it is very popular in the transitional seasons and in the colder months as well. Just having that little bit extra weight and body, you know, just gives you an extra little bit of, I guess, warmth and coverage than maybe like a viscose lawn or a viscose chalet fabric would do. So yeah, it's great for this time of year here in the UK. So what else to tell you about this fabric? So we would recommend just a standard universal sewing needle for this fabric. You don't need anything fancy to be able to sew it. And from a washing and wear point of view as well, so we would recommend, you know, on a delicate 30-degree wash and to dry flat as well. So, you know, we have tested it at a higher setting and tumble drying as well, which you can absolutely do, but to get, you know, for this fabric to stand the test of time, we would recommend, you know, treating it with a little bit more care. So let's have a good look at the prints. I think I've told you everything I wanted to about the actual base cloth itself, but now let's have a look at the absolutely wonderful prints. Now we have 20 new designs in this fabric, so we've worked with some new artists this month. We've found some absolutely incredibly talented artists and designers, and we think we've come up with a wonderful collection of new prints. There's lots of different styles, lots of different prints, and hopefully something for everyone. We've got some large scale prints, small scale prints, lots of different colourways. So yeah, hopefully there'll be something for you. So this first design, so the print of this design is called Neon Whirl, and it actually comes in 3 colourways. So this first design is called Azure, and this one is a deep rich blue background, and the print on there, it's almost like a floral, almost a paisley style floral print, and it has lots of pretty colours in that design. So this was actually the first colourway that we came up with the designer. I really loved the idea of this rich blue colour with these pops of, you know, pretty colours on top. But we loved the design so much, we really wanted to kind of extend the colours that it came on. So we also decided to go for this colourway as well, which you can see on the mannequin. So this one is the same rich deep blue colour in the background, but this one, all the print is in all different shades of blue. So if you're someone that loves blues, I think you'll love that colourway. And if you're someone that likes a little bit more colour, we've got this one. And then the third colourway we've got, so this one is called Ocean, and this is a beautiful, like turquoisey greeny colour. And ocean is the perfect description for it. And this one, as you can see, it's one of those tonal prints. So the same as this one in that, and that it's all that shade of green, but all different shades and tones of the same colour. Really, really beautiful. Quite an understated, more I guess pear back print, this one, but very, very wearable and really, really gorgeous colourways. Let's move those there. Next up, so we have, this one is called Salvia Spires, and the first colourway is called Pink, and I think this one's my favourite. I really love this design. How gorgeous is this? I think that's such a beautiful floral. So many gorgeous colours in there. This one, 2 of the colourways, this one and the next one I'm going to show you, is on a black background, and those colours in the flowers really pop. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, I think a dress or a jumpsuit in that, something to really show off the print, would be fabulous. The next colourway is called Blush. So like I said, this one is on a black background as well. And this has more soft and muted kind of tones. So lots of greens, apricots, a hint of lilac. Really beautiful colour palette. Very lovely colourway for autumn, I think, that one. And then the next one we've got is actually on a lilac background. So very, very pretty, this one. And then we have lots of pinks and greens in the flowers themselves. So very different feel to the other 2 colourways, but we fell in love with all of them, so we decided to go with all 3 and give you the choice. Yes, such a pretty print, that one. Definitely one of our kind of like larger, more bold scale, larger scale and more bolder colourway prints. Next up, we've got something a little bit more subtle again. So this one actually comes in 4 colourways. It's called Contrast Canopy. That's the name of the design. And this one, the colourway is called Shade. So you can see with this one, it's a design that's lots of layers of leaves. And this one's in a black and cream colourway. So this one is definitely the most striking of the colourways, with that, you know, it's quite a contrast in the colours. And then the next one is called Shelter. That's the name of the colourway. And this is a very silvery grey colour. And as you'll see with this one, this is a lot more subtle. Very, very pretty. I think it's a really lovely shade of silvery grey, that one. It's got a warmth to it. Really pretty. And then the next 2 we've got are actually quite similar, but one is a warmer colour palette and one is a cooler colour palette. So this first one I've got is called Mottle, and I'd say this is the slightly more cooler colour palette of the 2. So as you can see with this one, it's a sandy, creamy, beigey sort of colour palette. Really, really soft, muted, subtle, very, very pretty and kind of sophisticated, I guess, kind of print, that one. And then the next one, which is the slightly warmer one of the two. So this one is called Dapple. And this one has a beigey, sandy, creamy coloured palette again, but just a little bit stronger and a little bit warmer of a colour palette. Very, very pretty. It has very sort of earthy kind of tones, this one. Feels very natural and earthy. Really, really beautiful. Next up, we've got something definitely that's more graphic and more bold. So this one is called Static Strokes. I really love this design. So as you can see, it's a very kind of abstract, layered, painterly sort of effect that's very bold, very graphic. The colours in it, I would say we have a very dark grey and a very dark inky midnight blue colour with this soft ivory. Very, very unusual. Yeah, it's not like just a flat colour in those kind of like brushstroke textures. We have blues and greys and sort of blacks in there. Yeah, there's a lot of depth in that print. Next up, we have something fruity and fun. So this one is called Cherry Charm. And yeah, I love this design. I'm definitely going to be making something out of this. How fun is that one? So this one is, I would describe that background colour as a midnight. It's not quite black, but it's very, very dark navy. So it's like somewhere in between the two. And then on the surface, we have all these pink and cherry tomatoey red colours. And with that hint of very neon green in there. It's such a fun print. I think that's definitely a conversational print, that one. Yeah, lots of fun. Next up we have, so this is quite a small scale floral, but it has a lot of detail in this print. So this one is called Greenhouse Garden, and this is designed by our Spanish artist that we work with here at Minerva, who lots of you absolutely adore her prints. So I'm hoping you'll love this one too. It's definitely something very special, and we were asked for a smaller scale print from one of her designs. So this is definitely a smaller scale print that we've gone for, and I think it's so pretty on that scale. There's just so many details, and yeah, you can really see, you know, the artist's the paintwork, the brush strokes. You know, it really is like a work of art on fabric, is that one. It has this rich deep navy blue background, and then so many pretty colours in the floral and leaf print design there. Ever so pretty. Next up, we've got an animal print. So this one is called Hidden Life, and it's, I'd say, a medium to large scale animal print. Very, very earthy kind of natural colours in this. So we have like a slate grey in the background with this cream and very dark chocolate brown in the animal print itself. So it's very, yeah, it's so on trend, is this kind of colour palette. And animal prints, I mean, we're just seeing them everywhere at the moment, aren't we? And I think this kind of design, because it's, you know, it's an abstract take on an animal print. So if you're someone that, you know, maybe a little bit scared of animal print, but you want to, you know, dip your toe in the trend, then this could be a really lovely print to do it with, because I don't think it's so obviously animal print as some designs. But yeah, really, really lovely. And I just love that combination of the slate grey with the chocolate brown. It really works beautifully well. Next up we've got, so this is an abstract sort of print. Now it's called Ebullient Bark, and it's quite unusual in that it has almost animal print vibes, almost like sort of bark texture vibes, or you can just see, you know, a completely abstract sort of feel to it as well. So how beautiful is this? Now this is something that I specifically went looking for, this sort of print. I once had a garment that, you know, I probably owned it about 20 years ago or something, and I loved the print on the fabric. It was just a ready to wear garment, and I had this idea in my head of how we could create something, you know, inspired by that. And the artist we worked with came up with this, and it was a little bit different to my original vision, but I absolutely fell in love with it. And I already have a piece of this at home that I'm just waiting to make something in. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm definitely going to make a dress in mine, but you know, You can make all sorts with it. It's just absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I love the texture, the colours. I think all these earthy tone colours, they're so on trend right now. It's on a black background, which kind of tones it all down. But when you see it in the flesh, you see it up close, you'll see there's almost some like inky blue colours in there. There's some almost peaches and all different colour tones. It's got a lot of depth as that print, and you can really again see the original artwork and how that's transpired onto fabric. It's just beautiful. And then the last print I've got to share with you today, so this one is definitely a conversational print, a little bit of a larger scale, and this one is called Gaze Garden. And on this one you'll be able to see faces in the print and also birds and flowers. Hopefully you'll be able to see that there. It's one of those prints that you look at it at first and you think, oh, it's a really lovely kind of abstract line drawing print, but then when you look up close you can see the birds, you can see the woman's face, you can see the flowers in there. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a white linear design on a black background, this one. Yeah, it's just such a special print. And with this one, the faces and the birds facing different directions, so it's not a directional print, and you certainly wouldn't need to pattern match this one at all, with it being such a kind of like abstract sort of print. Yeah, really, really special, that one. So that's all the fabrics I had to share with you today, but do remember we've got lots more prints on the website. So there's another 10 brand new designs, and we've also got some of our best sellers from the Minerva Exclusive collection, that we've printed on other base cloths in the past. So some of our best sellers we've printed on the Viscose Twill as well, so your favourite might be in there. So next up, let's take a look at the pattern suggestions that I've got to share with you. So I've tried to sort of pick a range of different types of garments, just to give you some specific ideas on the sorts of patterns you can use for Viscose Twill. So first up, we've got Butterick 6934, and this is a fabulous wrap skirt pattern that has 2 different lengths. It's just a really lovely skirt. And I think it's a really good example of where the softness of a viscose twill kind of comes into its own for this pattern. Because if you look at, in fact, we'll insert the images into the video now. And if you look at the line drawing where the tie detail is, you'll see there that, how that tie detail would suit a soft fabric, as it'll hang really nicely. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice skirt option. Then I've got a couple of different trouser and short, and again there's a skirt option as well in this pattern. So we've got Simplicity 8605, and this is an easy to sew pattern that includes trousers, like cropped, like culotte type trousers, and then 2 different lengths of skirt. So lots of different options in this. And what I really like is the elastic detail around the waist kind of creates a little feature, and then you've got a tie belt option as well. Again, I think like the shape of that skirt, the fullness in those trousers would really suit the viscose twill. You've got the beautiful softness that's going to hang really nicely, but no worries about it being see-through at all. The next pattern I've got is McCall's 7131, and this is a trouser and short pattern. And I thought this was, well, in this pattern you've got 4 different length options, so loads of different choice. And what I really like about this one is the front of the waistband sits flat and the back of the waistband is elasticated. So they're going to look really smart from the front, but they're just going to give you that comfort from the, the elasticated bit at the back. I think again this is a really good example of a trouser pattern that suits viscose twill, because the fullness in these trousers, like you've got pleat details at the front and gathers at the back, so all that fullness is going to hang really well in a viscose twill, but you've still got enough body for them to feel like trousers that are going to hang really nicely. Next up, we've got a dress pattern. So this is Simplicity 8910, and this is a V-neck sleeveless or sleeved dress. It has lots of pleats at the front, so all that fullness again is going to hang beautifully in Viscose Twill. It's got really deep big pockets, which are lovely. Yeah, just a really classic dress, very popular pattern here in the Minerva community. Next up, another dress. This is New Look 6574, and this is there's lots of different options on this pattern. They all have a round neckline, raglan sleeve. It has like a curved seam that sits just under the bust that has little gathers in there to give the shape in. Quite fitted at the waist, and then the skirt comes out, so it's quite a full skirt. Lots of different sleeve options. I think that would be fabulous in, I'd love to make that in the floral one. Yeah, either this one or the one with the big florals that I showed you earlier. I think that would be gorgeous. Next, I've got a pattern from Tilly and the Buttons. So this is the indigo smock top or dress pattern. And yeah, this is quite an easy pattern to make. And I think one of those that you kind of reach for again and again in your wardrobe. It's a really kind of easy to wear sort of pattern. All the gathers in that seam line at the waist will hang really nicely in the Viscose Twill. But I think this is a really good example of the type of pattern that is great for the transitional seasons or through autumn winter in a Viscose Twill, because you know you could make that pattern, for example, in Viscose Chalet, and it's definitely going to have a more summery feel to it, but make that same pattern in Viscose Twill, and that extra weight, that extra body, it's just going to make it feel a little bit more autumnal. You know, you've got a bit more coverage. It's not going to be super warm, you know, because it's still viscose, you know, it's not like it's wool or anything, but just that extra weight makes it feel a little bit more suitable for, you know, the transitional period or transitional seasons, or when it's a little bit colder. Next up, I've got a blouse pattern. This is the Atelier Jupe Frida blouse. This is such a popular pattern here at Minerva. Every single year it's like one of our best sellers. So I wanted to include it as I think it'd be perfect in the Viscose Twill. Another one again that would be great for you know, transitional seasons, but you could wear it all year round. Yeah, it's got a lovely sort of button placket. It's got like sort of gathered details across the yoke, lovely sleeve length. Yeah, just a really classic blouse pattern, very easy to wear. And then I've got, so this is something a little bit different. This is Butterick 7001. And in this pattern, you have a jacket that's like a robe kind of soft line jacket. You've got a camisole top and you've got trousers. And all three pieces I think would work really well in the Viscose Twill. So it just shows just how versatile this fabric is. So the trousers, or the pants as they call them on this pattern, has a flat front at the a flat waistband at the front and elasticated again at the back. Really nice pockets, and just a very simple kind of straight leg trouser. So yeah, would work really well in this. It's obviously going to, in this sort of fabric with drape, they're going to feel, you know, a little bit more casual, I guess, than what they would feel like if you made them in like a suiting fabric or something quite formal. But they would work really well. And again, because of that extra weight and coverage, they'd be ideal for the trousers. The camisole, yeah, it's just a really simple, very lovely, thin strapped camisole top. The drape and the softness of the fabric will be beautiful for that. And then the robe, or the jacket as they call it, which I'm most excited about on this pattern, I think that would be gorgeous. When I said earlier about how it would even suit, you know, softer kind of jackets, that's the exact sort of style that I had in my mind. So it's not like a suit jacket or anything like that. It's softer with big sort of flowing sleeves, sort of like an edge to edge, has like a band around. Yeah, just really, really lovely, and would hang beautifully in this sort of fabric. Next up, we've got the Harlow shirt. This is a pattern from Tessuti, and this is really popular pattern again here at Minerva. It's relatively new. Yeah, it's just got some really interesting details on it, like the seam lines under where the pockets sit. Yeah, all that detail there is just really, really unusual, and I like with this pattern how, you know, it's a bit of a looser fit, and I think the drape on the Viscose Twill will work really well with that. And then the last pattern I've got to mention, so this is the Minerva Exclusive Victoria blouse. Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Viscose Twill. And again, it's another example of a fabric that would be great to take you through the colder months and transitional seasons. You know, like the Victoria blouse is fabulous for making in like a viscose chalet, but that is, you know, a lighter weight fabric, so you know it does make you think more spring and summertime. Whereas Viscose Twill, yeah, just that little bit heavier, will absolutely take that pattern through all the seasons for you. So that's all the patterns I had to mention today. You know, to give you ideas on the fabrics, but do let me know in the comments below what pattern or what style would you love to sew in Viscose Twill. I always love to hear your suggestions. And back to the fabrics. So just to mention, we do offer free super fast worldwide delivery here at Minerva, so wherever you are in the world we can post parcels of fabric joy out to you. If you would like to order a sample of any of the fabrics, we offer samples of all our fabrics here at Minerva, so you can order those on our website of any fabric you like. With all the fabrics, they are priced and sold per metre, but you can buy from as little as ½ metre, and we sell them in 10 centimetre increments. So you could buy 1.1 metres, 1.2 metres, 1.3 metres, etc. So you only need to buy what you need, and then there's no wastage. We do offer a thread matching service on all our fabrics as well, so if you know you're going to need a matching thread, we can do the hard work for you on that and match that for you. If you're a member of our Minerva Craft Club as well, you can save a 10% off all these fabrics and patterns and everything on our website. From the day you join the club, you get 12 months with 10% off absolutely everything on our site, and that's always on top of any promotions online, special offers, you know, sale items. So you're always saving by being part of the Craft Club. So we'll put a link to that below in case you're interested. And if you're brand new to us here at Minerva, please do create a completely free account on Minerva, and you can join our wonderful sewing community here at Minerva. Yeah, it's a wonderful place on the internet to chat with sewists from all around the world. You know, you can see what other people are making, you can share your own makes if you'd like as well, you can ask the community for tips and advice, you can watch our sew along and educational videos. There's so much amazing stuff there, and you know, lots of welcoming and you know, inspiring ideas to, you know, to get your sojo going. And while you're there, if you create a free account and if you're brand new to us at Minerva, we'll also send you a discount code, so that's also worth knowing as well. And you can also join our newsletter as well if you wish to, and yeah, we can send you lots of sewing inspiration to your inbox each week. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to mention. I really hope you enjoyed looking at the new fabrics. I hope you love the new prints that we've launched this time. I think we've got some really amazingly talented artists and designers we're working with, and yeah, some of the prints I just think are absolutely stunning. So I hope you love the prints. I hope you love the new Viscose Twill base cloth. I'm really excited about this one. Yeah, and do let me know your favourites in the comments below. I'd love to know your favourite print and what you'd love to make out of it. I always find it really inspiring hearing, you know, what you guys would love to sew as well. So I think that's everything I wanted to mention. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget you can find all these on the website. I will tag all the products below, so you can go and check those out if you want to have a look at them. Thanks once again, and I'll be back again soon with another video filled with sewing and fabric goodness.